Hello students, I hope you all have followed the first video which I have uploaded based on the introduction of polynomials. It was actually a revision video of the polynomial which you have already done in class 9. Now what exactly we are going to do in class 10 is right in front of you. So the next topic which we are going to start is graphs of polynomial. Okay, so graphs of polynomials. As you all know, any polynomial which you take can be easily plotted on a graph. Graph means x-axis or the horizontal line, y-axis, vertical line, and where the two axes meet, it is known as the origin. Right? So let us quickly see the various types of polynomials, how the graphs of such polynomials are drawn or how the graphs of such polynomials are obtained. So let's start with the first and foremost polynomial, that is linear polynomial. Now you are already well aware of the linear polynomial. So what's a linear polynomial? Linear polynomial is the polynomial with degree is equal to 1. So the general format of writing a linear polynomial is ax plus b, where a not equal to 0. Now let me tell you quickly why this condition is attached. I've already told you earlier as well that a not equal to 0 means what? A is the coefficient of x. That is the highest degree is what? And the coefficient of that particular variable x is equal to a. So if it becomes equal to 0, definitely the linear polynomial will not be defined. That's why a should never be equal to 0. So here, if you see carefully, as you all know, the number of zeros of a polynomial always depends upon the degree of the polynomial. So let us see, what is the degree here? 1. So what will be the number of zeros for this linear polynomial? Of course, the number of zeros for this linear polynomial will always be equal to 1. Now this topic you have already covered in class 9. I am not elaborating it. So let's quickly move on to the graph. If we are going to draw a graph for this particular function, always remember it will always cut the x-axis at one point. Now I'll tell you the reason behind it. Now the number of times a particular graph intersects the x-axis depends totally upon the number of zeros that polynomial will have. Like for example, like if I am talking about the linear polynomial, the number of zeros for this linear polynomial will be equal to 1. That's why this linear graph is going to cut the x-axis only at one point. Now you might be surprised that why I have drawn these two graphs, linear graphs. Now just pay attention here. Ax is ax plus b. Now example, if I am having any graph, for example, if I am having any graph 2x plus 3, again I am repeating, if I am having any linear graph 2x plus 3, and if I try to get the zeros for it, what will be the possible zeros? Minus 3 upon 2. Now minus 3 upon 2 means minus 3 upon 2. It means which direction of the axis, x-axis it will be lying on? It will be lying on the negative x-axis. And if I take another example, for example, 2x plus 3. And if I try to get the zero of that polynomial, x will be equal to 2x minus 3. X will be equal to 3 upon 2. As you can see, here I am going to get a positive value for the x. That's why where it will be intersecting, where it will be cutting the x-axis, it will cut the x-axis, it will meet the x-axis only at one point, and where that point exactly will be, it will be exactly in the positive direction of the x-axis. So this was all about the linear graph. Okay, and the linear graph, as the name sounds, the graph of this function will be a straight line. So next in the series we have quadratic polynomials. Let's see what quadratic polynomials, what type of graphs we are going to get from quadratic polynomials. Let's see. So as you know, quadratic polynomials, what is the general form of writing a quadratic polynomial? It is ax squared plus bx plus c. Definitely the leading coefficient of the power is x to the power 2, and the a is the coefficient of the power x to the power 2. That is degree is 2. Definitely the value of a should never be equal to 0. What is a? A is the coefficient of x squared. Now let's understand, when we talk about quadratic polynomial, can you see these type of curves which I have drawn? these type of curves which we obtain when we try to plot a quadratic polynomial on a graph are known as parabolic curves, or in short we can name them as parabola. So let's see what type of parabolas we are going to obtain when we try to draw a quadratic polynomial. Let's start. So case 1. Now you might be thinking, what is case 1, case 2 and case 3? Now always we are not going to get the same type of parabola when we are trying to plot a quadratic polynomial on a graph paper. Now it totally depends upon the value of a, that is the coefficient of x square. You have to remember one thing. As you can see here, the degree of the quadratic polynomial is 2. So how many zeros are possible? At the most 2 zeros are possible. This we have to remember, that the zeros of the polynomial totally depends upon the degree of the polynomial. So according to this, at the most how many zeros? Again I am repeating, at the most for a quadratic polynomial 2 zeros are possible. Now these 2 zeros which are possible can be of different variety. For example, it may be possible that the 2 zeros which we have got, both the 2 zeros may be different. Okay, different means, for example, one of the 0 is 2 and another 0 is minus 2. One of the zeros is 0 and another 0 is 1, and so on, like various types of examples. Now from where are you going to get? You are going to get it after factorizing this polynomial ax square plus bx plus c. Factorization of the quadratic polynomials you have already learned in class 9th. So here, according to the factors which you have got, the 2 factors of have got, according to the zeros you have got, that is going to decide whether you are going to have an parabola which is going to intersect the x-axis at 2 distinct points, a parabola which is intersecting the x-axis exactly at 1 point, or the third case, the extreme case, where the parabola, the parabolic curve will not meet or will not intersect the x-axis at all. So let us slowly understand what type of curve. Now as I was saying, case 1 is totally upon the 2 factors, the 2 zeros, when they are both different. You have 2 different values of x, 2 different distinct zeros for the quadratic polynomial. So remember one thing. If the leading coefficient a means the coefficient of x square, if it is possible, positive, greater than 0, always remember you are going to get an upward parabola. Whether you are going to have 2 different roots, whether you are going to have 2 equal roots, or whether you are not able to get any possible roots for the quadratic polynomial, always remember one thing. If the coefficient of x square is equal to a is positive, you will always get a parabola which is open upward. Similarly, if the value of a is negative, that is less than 0, you will always get a parabola which is facing downwards, open downwards. Clear? So let's understand what I have drawn on the blackboard. So case 1, when the quadratic polynomial is having 2 distinct zeros. So if the value of a is positive, then you will have an upward parabola intersecting the x-axis at 2 distinct points. Similarly, if the value of a is negative, coefficient of x square is negative, again you will have an parabola intersecting the x-axis at 2 distinct points. But remember, because the value of a, that is coefficient of x square, is negative, therefore it will be open downwards. Intersecting the x-axis, always remember whether it is linear, as I've said earlier also, whether it is linear, whether it is quadratic, whether it is cubic, or whether it is nth power. Always remember the number of zeros are always obtained the number of times the curve meets or cut the x-axis. Like linear polynomial, which I have already explained that it cut the x-axis exactly at 1 point, reason it is having 1 0. Similarly, quadratic polynomial, it is having 2 zeros, so it will intersect the x-axis at 2 distinct different sides, different places. Okay, different, it will meet the x-axis at two distinct points. Reason, when it is having two different values of x, two different zeros of the polynomial. Let's move on to case 2. Now, can you see it meets the x-axis only at one point? It is known as the vertex of the parabola. Fine. So here also, here too, you can see that why touch the x-axis is exactly one point. It may be possible that when you are going to factorize the quadratic polynomials, you will have two zeros which will both be equal to each other. For example, if you are having x square minus 1, if you are going to factorize it, what are you going, if you are going to x minus 1 whole square, if you are going to factorize it, what are you going to get? You are going to get two equal roots. And what will be those two equal roots? X is equal to 1, 1. Of course, the two roots will be there because it is a quadratic polynomial. So at the most, it will have two zeros associated with it. But when you are going to factorize such type of polynomials, always remember you will have two zeros and both the zeros will be equal to each other. So when both the zeros are going to be equal to each other, it is going to touch the x-axis only at one point. So again, the same procedure. If the value of a is positive, greater than 0, you are going to obtain an upward parabola, and if it is negative, you are going to get a downward parabola. Now you might be thinking, what is case 3? Case 3 are special varieties of polynomials, quadratic polynomials. Sometimes it happens that the highest power, the highest degree is 2, but factorization is a tough job. Even if you factorize, you won't get the two factors as linear polynomials as the case should be. So in such cases, definitely you can draw a graph because it's a polynomial, it's a graph. You can easily plot a graph on the graph paper. But when we talk about the zeros, possibility is always next to impossible. Fine? No real roots exist. In fact, though no real roots exist. Roots exist but no real roots exist. So here, can you see, is it going to touch the x-axis? Not at all. It is not going to meet the x-axis, not at all. It means that such type of quadratic polynomials which cannot be factorized into linear polynomials, possibility of getting a zero out of it is almost next to impossible. So no real roots exist for them. Hence, if a is greater than 0, a positive parabola, and a is less than 0, a negative parabola. So this was all about downward parabola. So this was all about quadratic polynomial and their graphs. And last in the series is cubic polynomials. Cubic polynomial, as the name sounds, the degree of the polynomial is 3. So of course here also the condition attached is, what is the coefficient of x cube? The coefficient of x cube is a, and the value of a should not be equal to 0. Simple reason, you all know, up till now you should be knowing it very well, because if a is equal to 0, it will no longer be a cubic polynomial. So let's understand what the graph of the cubic polynomial will be. So remember, cubic polynomial, when you are going to draw a graph for them, it will be a freehand curve. Means it can be a freely, you can draw the graph. It will be a freehand curve. There is no specific shape for it. It will be a normal freehand curve which you can easily draw on the graph paper. But as you can see, the three different varieties of graph which I have drawn, which can be obtained when you are going to plot the cubic polynomials, right? So here, let's see what are these three different cases all about. Like if you remember about the quadratic polynomial, the graph plotting which I have told you earlier, the number of zeros at the most is 2. So here, the number of zeros, how many? Definitely, the number of zeros will be 3, because the degree is 3. Definitely, the number of zeros will always be equal to 3. Now, in the earlier case, when we have seen and tried to plot quadratic polynomials, we have seen that either the two zeros will be equal to each other, two distinct roots exist, or the two zeros will be exactly equal to each other, or there will be no roots at all existing. So in the similar manner, here also in cubic polynomials, you will observe that these three varieties means, now before we proceed with varieties, remember that cubic means it will cut the x-axis, it will have maximum at the most 3 possible zeros. So possibility might be there that all the 3 zeros might be different, all 3 will be different. Different means one might be -3, another one will be 0, and the third one will be 3. So all these 3 values are not different from each other. Okay, when three distinct roots exist, always remember the graph of the cubic polynomial is going to cut the x-axis at three different points. Similarly, next case it might be possible that all the three values are equal to each other. Possibility, right? X cube, like x cube is a cubic polynomial. If you are going to equate it to 0, of course all the three values will be equal to 0 only. X cube is equal to 0 means x also equal to 0, x also equal to 0, x also equal to 0. So all the three values are equal to each other. If all the three values are equal to each other, for example 0, so definitely the graph of the function is going to intersect the x-axis exactly at one point. It doesn't mean that it has only got one 0. It means that the cubic polynomial under consideration have got three zeros, and all these three zeros are equal to each other. That's the meaning of cubic polynomials. So here, and the next case, can you see the third possibility might also be there, like maximum at the most three possibilities. So it might be possible that the two zeros are equal and the third zero is different. So if two zeros are equal, it might be possible that the two zeros which are equal to each other, of course it will pass through one single point, and the third zero, wherever it is passing through, it will touch at that particular point, right? So these are the three different cases of cubic polynomials. Just a quick recap: three distinct zeros, cubic polynomial, it will meet the x-axis at 3 points. Three exact equal zeros, it will meet the x-axis at exactly 1 point. It will cut the x-axis exactly at 1 point. And if two zeros are equal and the third zero is different, it will intersect the x-axis at 2 points. But it doesn't mean it only have one, it only have two, or it only have three. Try and recognize the type of curve which you are able to see. If it is a straight line, it's a linear polynomial. If it's a parabola, it is a quadratic polynomial. And if it's a freehand curve which meet the x-axis at 3 different points, it's a cubic polynomial. So in short, the summary of the whole concept is the number of zeros depends upon the number of time the curve, okay, meets the x-axis. So you can easily find out from the graph that which is given to us that how many zeros exist for that particular polynomial. So like here, if it intersects the x-axis at exactly 1 point, it will have 1 0, 2 points, 2 zeros, 3 points, 3 zeros, and so on. 4 points, 4 zeros. N times it intersects to meet the x-axis, n number of zeros. So this was all about graph of the polynomial functions, linear, quadratic, cubic. Now exercise 2.1, it's already being attached in the PDF format. It is all about finding the number of zeros. Certain graphs, 6 graphs are given to you, and you have to find out, looking at the graph, how many zeros each graph will be having. So the PDF is attached. Again I am repeating, the number of times the graph, the curve, meet the x-axis, it gives the number of zeros. So thank you. Have a good day.